I've always struggled with drawing backgrounds, and I think that's very noticeable in some of my illustrations.
Ugh. Brother, ugh. What's that?
I don't think I lack the knowledge on perspective. I saw technical drawing in high school as a class, but I could use a refresher. When it comes to drawing backgrounds, my mind goes completely blank, and I don't even know where to start or what to even draw, making it difficult for me to do world building or even just background studies in general. Okay, backgrounds and environments are just hard. So in today's video, I'm going to learn how to draw backgrounds and environments. The videos I followed were by Mark Brunet, of course, Evu, Flow Studio, Winged Canvas, Victor Staris, Tyler Edlin, Donico Pantoja, Devin L. Kurtz, Fung Zhao, Modern Day James, Blue Biscuits, White Manga, Bam Animation, and Draw Like a Sir. I apologize if I mispronounce any of these names. So sorry. All their videos will be linked down below. That's 15 video tutorials for you. I do this to myself. Once again, Mark Brunet, the art teacher, is in one of my videos. He starts off by explaining the horizon. The horizon is the line that defines how the perspective will go, separating sky and land, or water, whatever you choose. This will also define the eye level that you'll see the horizon. I don't know if that made any sense. The vanishing point comes into play here as well, since when you decide where your vanishing point goes, that's where you get vanishing lines. All these lines connect to the vanishing point. In that case, you can also have multiple vanishing points to create a really cool drawing. This was a nice recap to relearn from what I previously learned in high school. Then after refreshing my memory, I followed the video and drew this streak. It's certainly not the best, but it looks much better than my previous works. It still sucks though. In this video, he really simplified and stylized how to draw environments, and I can really say that I enjoyed following this video tutorial. I didn't draw the exact thing, and it made it more of my own, but this looks way better than the first drawing I did in this video. I won't lie, this tutorial confused me a bit, and that's okay. Everyone's drawing process is different, but the moment this tutorial pulled out an axis graph, I sort of blanked. So what I tried doing was to determine the perspective points in this image I found on Pinterest, because despite blanking at first, I sort of understood what they were explaining. But after wasting an hour of my life trying to work on this piece, I sort of rage quit because it just wasn't turning out how I wanted. So I decided to sleep on it and look at the piece with quote-unquote fresh eyes. I still hated it. This is where I spent hours on Pinterest to find a new reference to draw. I found this image and started over. This time I was using a perspective grid. I found this one on DeviantArt, and I'll link it down below because I'm honestly too lazy to make my own perspective grid for Photoshop. I'm not doing all that. I'm already making this video. I feel like this piece is much better than the last one, or the last two, sorry. I still feel like I could improve on my background art. This artist used the environments from Genshin Impact as well as using grayscale. For this tutorial, I'll be using backgrounds and environments from two video games, Mario Kart Wii and Genshin Impact, like the video, even though I haven't played the game yet, and I will. I'll play it one day. I chose this image of Koopa Cape and this image of Genshin Impact. I think my biggest issue so far with drawing backgrounds and environments is rendering. Whenever it is time to render, I don't know what to do or start, but every artist, when it comes to rendering and explaining rendering, they say the same thing. It just happens. Like, bruh, okay, thanks, I guess. Like I said before, this video used grayscale and then glazing. I've used this method before in a challenge video I did a few months ago. So this video reminded me of not everything needs to be perfect as long as you can identify what you see or what you're seeing on the screen. I think I did okay with these studies. For the Genshin Impact study, I didn't follow the reference exactly, and I decided to only give myself an hour since I've been taking so long with the other studies. They also made a reference to Monet in this video, since Monet is very messy with his brush strokes, but you can still tell what he painted. That's what I wanted to do for the study. Also making a reference to Clueless, because Monet all up front is a complete mess, but when you see it from afar, it's a beautiful painting. You know what I mean? It's all about balance and perspective and leading lines and how different rules and perspectives changes the composition of your piece. Flow Studio's video was very detailed and I learned a lot. He also talked about how color and focus is also very important to be able to separate different elements of the piece. I decided to do a study of this image I found on Pinterest. Most of the references for this video are from Pinterest. This video was short but had some good tips. The tip Wing Canvas talked about was about blurring some aspects of your background to give it dimension, sort of what Flow Studio was talking about before, especially when you have a character in your piece. Sometimes you don't want the background to take away from the character since it's not the focal point. Also, another tip was to not over render, which is definitely a problem I have. Not gonna lie, I am already very tired of drawing backgrounds and environments, but I shall continue for this video. Tyler talks a lot of the rule of odds and depths of field and visual hierarchy. And again, won't lie, I was still very confused. So for this piece, following the Pokemon theme of the video that Tyler made, I decided to draw a Pokemon environment and stylize it a little bit more than what I've been doing in this video so far. And I'm also trying to apply the tips Tyler provided in his video. This video was different than the other videos, but I feel like it still helped me to understand drawing backgrounds and environments, since world building is also very important for concept art. But since my time is limited and I didn't make as many drawings as modern day James, since he showed drawing an environment in multiple camera angles, quote unquote, that way to determine a final look, the camera angles, I say that in quotations again, define the horizon line. For my drawing, I decided to do something a bit more different than what I've been doing. I'll be drawing a room taking into reference a room I have in my house, but I'll be adding more to it. Since this room is empty, but guess what? I hated how this drawing was turning out, so I decided to take a step back and look at the drawing with new eyes again. or so to say, so I can figure out the lighting and stuff like that. And this is what turned out from this study. I don't hate it. It's okay. This video has gotten me so tired. I don't even know what to say anymore. This was more of a tips and tricks video. Blue Biscuit does mention the icon Bob Ross, using some of his techniques for their studies, starting from the background to detail. Also to mention, Blue Biscuits was not worried about putting in a lot of detail and block the bigger shape. They zoomed out, and that is something I struggle with. I zoom in a lot. Since this video is already quite long, I am not doing as many studies as Blue Biscuits did in their video. And when I say that, I mean just one study. I just did one study. I was low-key getting very, very tired. Being advanced in some other aspects of art, but then in backgrounds and environments, your skills are the equivalent to a stick figure, really puts a lot of things in perspective, and it is mentally draining. Making backgrounds and environments is mentally draining, and mind you, I have a full-time job, so I am extra tired. This video is proof of this, clearly due to how long this video took to make. White Manga's main tip for backgrounds was to loosen up and to just relax while you draw background. He also said to use reference because reference can help you expand your visual library as well as helps with accuracy, and I totally agree, which is why I used some reference for these two little buildings that I drew. Like every other backgrounds and environments, color, lighting, and atmospheric perspective are very much needed. This video was very detailed with those aspects. I started with line art and then I decided the lighting and color. They also mentioned in the video the importance of values and hues. This piece took quite a while to make because feeling the burnout from work was really hitting me, so I wanted to take my time and I wanted to just relax and see what I could create with a clear mind. I didn't want it to be perfect, and it's not at all perfect, which was the goal, but I feel like this piece came out pretty okay considering the circumstances. Just like every other tutorial, Victor Staris explains the same things, except this time the artist started the piece by giving the background some color and then adding this sketch. Following the theme of the video, I also decided to draw some ruins. After basically skying the piece and then adding the sketch of the ruins, he put down flat colors. I try not to take too long with these backgrounds so I can also work on my speed. And I actually really like how this one came out. I really like how this drawing came out. I think it's one of the best ones I've done in this video, I'm not gonna lie. But I've been very hard on myself and criticizing myself a lot throughout this video. This was not exactly a tutorial, but more of a video on how this artist does backgrounds. I feel like watching videos about environments or backgrounds from the animation perspective are really good because they have really great tips. The main tip from this video was to keep everything and objects on their own separate layer and then merge down for smaller details when the layer is completed. Also, another tip is to keep things simplified. Now, I struggled with this one, I'm not gonna lie. I don't know why, but I tried my best. It's not the best drawing in this curriculum, I could say, but I did try. And also, it was late at night, so I was tired and I didn't want to draw because I just got off of work. But I am pushing through because I want to finish doing all of these tutorials. This tutorial was very extensive and very informative. Devin explained industry terms as well as providing examples, explaining their steps to design a background, and a lot of tips and tricks. A tip from this video that I sort of picked up was to start with muted colors and then build up the contrast as you go with your piece. Always asking yourself how you want the piece to feel, how you want it to look like, and not forgetting to add a balance of variation to the art. All this ties together to try and tell a story with your art piece. Another tip given in this video was to use reference for everything. Now that is something I fail to do. I won't lie. Sometimes I forget to use reference and I just want to make it up as I go. And I need to start thinking to myself that using reference is not as bad as it seems and that everyone uses reference for everything. So I'm working on it, trust me. Another thing is this video, since this video is very detailed, I wanted to do something that resembled the video, as well as when she was explaining her process, the art piece was also very detailed, starting with the line art. So I wanted to do something similar, and this drawing did take me quite a bit. It's all about vanishing points and blocking out objects using said vanishing points and making sure your lines line up to the vanishing points added. Count how many times I said vanishing points. For this piece, I decided to do it in black and white since my main focus is to create my own mangas. So it should have been good practice to create backgrounds with that manga style. And Draw Like a Sir really does that. He does explain vanishing points and he does explain adding the details and how to block it out. Really anything in this video. And I wanted to do it black and white because I realized that all these backgrounds that I've done, I haven't really done anything in black and white. Maybe that was just me being scared because I don't want to fail and I don't want it to look like ass. Like, I don't want it to look bad. So I kind of just procrastinated making a background in black and white. So why not do it with Draw Like a Sir and just do a background in black and white? Well, this video took forever to make. I shall be honest and say that I feel burnt out. Drawing backgrounds and environments is not for the weak. This was good practice, even though there are many pieces in this video that I am not proud of at all. I do feel like I have improved from my previous works from back in the day. Those were bad. Holy whew. All these drawings I made are on my Threads account, and I post more of my art mostly on Instagram if you want to check it out. No need to though. You don't have to. I totally understand if you wouldn't, but I appreciate if you do. I'm sorry this video took so long to come out, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace out.